Okay, ready to decode the future, listener?
We're cracking open the State of AI Report 2024.
Yeah.
Think of it as your cheat sheet for not just surviving.
But thriving in an AI-powered world.
It's fascinating.
Just a fascinating snapshot of where we are and,
Very.
more importantly, where things are headed.
And the first thing that jumped out at me was this idea of AI convergence.
Yeah.
Remember when each new AI model
Felt like a total revolution.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, the report suggests they're actually starting to look a lot alike
they are.
under the hood. Yeah, we're seeing models like Claude, Sonic Grok, Gemini.
Even GPT-4 demonstrating increasingly similar capabilities. It's like they're all converging on a shared understanding of the world, driven by these massive data sets they're trained on.
So instead of these radical leaps forward,
We might be entering an era of refinement, really squeezing the most out of these already powerful models.
yeah, and it's raising questions about whether this means we're hitting a ceiling in terms of fundamental breakthroughs. Are we going to see that same pace of exponential growth?
Right.
Or will resources shift towards making existing models more robust, reliable, and scalable?
So potentially huge implications for which companies and research directions come out on top, right?
Absolutely. This convergence could give larger companies with the resources to refine and deploy these models.
A really significant advantage.
Fascinating stuff. But this doesn't mean innovation is slowing down, right?
Yeah.
The report also highlighted some mind-blowing new tools.
Like Meta's movie gen,
Yeah.
talk about a game changer.
Yeah, straight out of science fiction.
Imagine typing in, a cyberpunk detective chases a rogue AI through a neon-drenched city, and having a full video, complete with music and sound effects, generated before your eyes.
I know, right?
It's still in its early stages, but think about the possibilities.
Yeah.
Independent filmmakers, small businesses, even just people playing around with creative ideas. It could democratize video creation in a way we haven't even begun to imagine.
Absolutely. And while movie gen is still under wraps, the report also highlights more accessible tools like PAI, which allows users to create stunning visual effects using simple image uploads.
So you've got this whole spectrum, from cutting-edge research to tools anyone can use right now.
And that's what I love about this field. It's not just theoretical.
It's impacting our lives right now.
And speaking of impact, the report section on AI's role in scientific discovery really blew my mind.
It's not just about analyzing data faster. It's about AI becoming an active participant in the scientific process.
Potentially making Nobel-worthy discoveries in the coming decades.
Nobel Prizes for algorithms. That's wild. The report mentioned that this year alone, neural network pioneers snagged Nobels in both physics and chemistry.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so picture this.
It's the 2030s.
And the Nobel Prize in medicine goes to...
An algorithm.
It's not as far-fetched as it sounds.
The report suggests that we're on the cusp of AI-driven research becoming the norm in fields like medicine.
And speaking of AI shaking things up in medicine, the report dives into this new model called Brain LM.
It can analyze brain activity.
It predict things like age, anxiety levels.
Even political leanings, right?
Yeah, it's
Fascinating example of how AI is being used to decode the complexities of the human brain.
Brain LM is a transformer-based model.
Similar to those used in language processing.
But instead of being trained on text, it's trained on massive data sets of brain scans.
So instead of analyzing words and sentences,
It's looking for patterns in neural activity.
exactly.
And what's remarkable is that it can extract meaningful information from this data,
Making predictions about someone's age, mental state.
even their political views,
Wow.
with a surprising degree of accuracy.
I have to admit, the idea of an AI gleaning insights into our thoughts and beliefs from a brain scan,
It's a bit unnerving.
what are the ethical implications of a technology like this?
Yeah, it's a crucial consideration.
As with any powerful technology, ensuring responsible development and deployment is paramount.
Right.
The report emphasizes the need for robust ethical frameworks and regulations to guide the use of AI in sensitive areas like healthcare.
Data privacy, informed consent, and the potential for bias are all critical issues that need to be addressed.
It's a good reminder that as AI becomes more sophisticated,
We need to be equally sophisticated in how we manage its impact on society.
absolutely.
But on a more positive note,
Imagine the potential of Brain LM to revolutionize healthcare.
early diagnosis of mental health conditions,
Okay.
personalized treatment plans based on your brain's unique responses.
Even simulating the effects of new drugs before they're even tested on humans.
It's like having a window into the inner workings of the brain.
With the potential to transform how we understand and treat a wide range of conditions.
Precisely.
But it's not just about the software.
This brings us to another key takeaway from the report.
The increasing importance of hardware in the AI race.
Right, because you can't have all this amazing AI without the computing power to run it.
Exactly.
The report highlights the critical role of companies like NVIDIA,
whose GPUs have become the industry standard for AI development.
These powerful chips are the engines that drive AI innovation.
So in a way, controlling the hardware is just as crucial as developing the algorithms themselves.
Absolutely.
And this is where the global landscape gets interesting.
Okay.
The report notes that despite export restrictions aimed at limiting China's access to the most advanced GPUs,
They're managing to stay remarkably close behind. How are they pulling that off?
through a combination of finding loopholes
Working with intermediaries?
and pouring resources into their own domestic chip development.
It highlights just how high the stakes are in the race for AI dominance.
It's a reminder that this isn't just a technological competition,
It's also a geopolitical one.
with potentially huge implications for the balance of power in the 21st century.
And as with any competition,
It's not just about who reaches the finish line first.
but also about playing by the rules.
The report delves into some of the legal and ethical challenges that are emerging as AI becomes more powerful.
Yeah, things are getting really complicated on that front.
I'm thinking specifically about the whole debate around AI image generators and copyright.
Right.
We saw artists suing companies because AI models were trained on their work without permission,
Now, musicians and YouTubers are raising similar concerns.
which makes sense.
If an AI is learning by mimicking human creativity,
Who owns the rights to that output?
that's the million-dollar question.
Right.
The report suggests that platforms are starting to explore new business models.
Like allowing creators to opt in to having their work used in AI training data sets.
For a fee.
But it's still early days.
And the legal and ethical frameworks are still evolving.
It feels like we're entering uncharted territory here.
Trying to reconcile centuries-old notions of authorship and ownership with this new reality of AI-generated content.
And it's not just about copyright.
There are also concerns about bias in AI systems.
Especially when trained on massive data sets that may reflect existing societal biases.
That's a crucial point.
We can't just assume that AI is inherently neutral or objective,
We need to be mindful of the data it's trained on and the potential for it to perpetuate.
or even amplify existing inequalities.
Exactly.
And this brings us to another critical dimension of the AI revolution.
Its impact on the environment.
Right, because training these massive AI models requires a ton of energy.
It's a significant concern.
The report acknowledges the growing carbon footprint of AI development.
But also highlights its potential to be a powerful tool in the fight against climate change.
Okay, so which is it?
Is AI ultimately good or bad for the planet?
It's a classic dilemma, right?
AI, this energy-hungry tech,
Yeah.
could also hold the key to solving the climate crisis.
How does the report navigate that?
It presents a range of perspectives.
From experts like Eric Schmidt, who believe that AI can drive breakthroughs in clean energy,
to folks like Sam Altman and Ilya Sutskever at OpenAI.
who argue that superintelligent AI might be our best shot at tackling climate change head-on.
Superintelligent AI,
As in,
smarter than us.
isn't that a bit of a gamble?
What if it decides the best way to save the planet is without humans?
It's a question that sparks a lot of debate, venturing into the realm of hypothetical scenarios in science fiction.
While the report acknowledges the need to consider the long-term implications of increasingly intelligent AI
It doesn't offer any concrete answers.
on those existential questions,
That's a lot to process.
this report has been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
From cool tools like Movie Gen to the prospect of AI winning Nobel Prizes.
The ethical dilemmas.
It's a global race for AI dominance.
It really underscores that AI isn't just some abstract concept anymore.
It's woven into the fabric of our world,
Right.
impacting everything from scientific discovery to the future of work.
To even the fate of our planet.
And that brings us to what I think is the most crucial point.
The report makes all these predictions,
Paints this vivid picture of the future.
but there's one thing it doesn't address directly.
What about you?
What about the listener and their role in all of this?
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement or anxiety surrounding AI.
And forget that we're not just passive bystanders.
Right.
We all have a part to play in shaping how this technology is developed and used.
Do we embrace it wholeheartedly?
Approach it with cautious optimism.
Demand stricter regulations?
These aren't just theoretical questions. They have real-world implications.
And that's what makes this such a pivotal moment.
The future of AI isn't predetermined.
Right.
It's being written right now,
And we're all contributing to the narrative.
whether we realize it or not.
So, listener, As you go about your day, encountering AI in your work, your news feed,
Even your entertainment, remember this.
you're not just a spectator in the AI revolution.
You're a participant.
What role will you choose to play?
That's all for this deep dive.
Catch you in the next one.